Hello everyone, now I am here with my next video of constructor in Java. In previous video, I told you about theoretical material of constructor. In this video, I am going to tell you the program with few theories material. See, now constructor revision. First of all, I want to tell you few things so that you can revise the previous video also. Number one, constructor is a special method which is used to initialize global variable. I told you earlier about it. It is used to initialize global variables only. Constructor name should be same as class name. Then syntax of constructor, you have to write in place of method name, you have to write the class name. Then function bracket open close, and in that curly braces you have to write statements. Then we can have calling of constructor also, but you have to remember that when we are going to create object of a class, then only see class name object name equals to new class name function bracket open close semicolon. In that we are having class name function bracket open close. It is a calling of a constructor. It is automatically done. We are not supposed to do that. It is automatically done. That's why implicitly it is called. In C, we can have, if we are not writing any public, private or protected access specifier, then by default it is public. We can write all three of them. Either it can be public or protected or private, anything. Then I told you it is called implicitly, not explicitly. And class have any number of constructor, but parameter should be different. You have to remember that. Then moving further, in the previous video I told you we have three ways of conducting a constructor, or we can have three ways to create a constructor. First one is a default constructor, which is non-parameterized constructor. Then we have parameterized constructor. Then we have a copy constructor. If we want to create copy of an object, then we have to create copy constructor, which is parameterized constructor. One by one we are going to have examples and the theoretical material of each of them. Now proceeding with first one, that is a default constructor. See the number one point, a non-parameterized constructor. Java compiler automatically creates a default constructor when it is not present in a class. If we are not creating a constructor within a class, then it is constructed by the compiler automatically. And see the syntax. Then we have class name function bracket open close. Inside function bracket we are not using any parameters, then it is a non-parameterized constructor. And see, the purpose of creating a default constructor is to initialize the default value to a global variable. Means our motive is to initialize value to a global variable. That's why we are creating a constructor. If we are not creating a constructor, then constructor automatically created by the Java compiler. Now see the example. Now in front of you all we have example of that. I had taken class name constructor and few variables I am taking. Int x, float a, char b, strings s, int a square bracket open close. These are the few variables. These are the few global variables. I'm going to initialize all these variables inside a constructor. See the first constructor what I had created, public constructor function bracket open close. Nothing is there. It is non-parameterized constructor. That's why it is non-parameterized. Remember that function bracket open close doesn't contain any parameter. It means it is a default constructor. Means if we are initializing x is an integer variable, it is initialized with 0. If x is see, we are having float a also. A is a floating point value. That's why I'm initializing it with 0.0f. Then we have a character variable, that is b. Means we have to initialize it with single quotes \u 4 times zeros. It is a Unicode for character initialization. Then we have a string s. We are going to initialize with a string s, that is double quotes open close. And if we want to initialize an array, we don't have a size of array, then whatever question is going to provide that size we have to write here. The remaining part, means a equals to new int 50. 50 may be provided by the question. Maybe any size is going to provided by the question. Maximum size of an array should be 200 or 400 or 50 or 5, anything is given. Then you have to take in this way. You have to declare into two parts. Int a square bracket, you have to remain there only. We are declaring an array there only, and then we are going to provide the size of an array. That's why we are not using, again we are not using square bracket inside the constructor, because we are going to provide only the size to a. See, when we are writing a equals to new int square bracket 50, then new keyword is going to provide memory for the 50 integers inside a. A is going to store that memory. And see, the public static void main, inside the public static void main I had written constructor ob equals to new constructor, means I had created object for that, and constructor in last is going to call a default constructor, and then I'm going to display the value of ob. Whenever we are going to display value of ob, always remember it always provide address. Whenever we are displaying a non-primitive data type, the name of non-primitive data type, we are getting address. You have to remember few small things. And see, these what I am telling you, these are the global variables, and from here we are calling our constructor. Now moving further, it is a parameterized constructor. Now few things about parameterized constructor, that is it contains parameters in constructor. Next, by using a parameterized constructor, we can assign different values to each object of a class. Means with the help of parameterized constructor, we can have different sort of values, and different sort of values is to be provided to different objects. And how we are going to do that, I am going to explain with the examples. See the exam syntax first of all. Afterwards, I'm going to tell you the examples. Now, syntax, class name, then inside that class name we are having parameters, and in curly braces we have to write the statements. Whatever we are having in parameter, we are going to initialize these values to a global variables. Now see, purpose of creating a parameterized constructor is to initialize values defined by user to global variables. How? See, I had created one example for you all so that you can able to understand what I want to say. See, by using scanner, I'm going to accept few values from the user, and I'm going to provide these values to our global variables. See the main function. First of all, in that I'm using scanner, and I'm creating object of class constructor ob1, and I'm going to provide 10 to a constructor. See, the value 10 is going to be received by s, and s is going to be stored by size. Means size is a global variable which is going to have s, and s is going to have 10. Means now a variable size can have value 10, and then I am accepting value in n, and it is going to be provided again to s. S is going to provide value to size. And what is the role of this line? This lines provide the value of size inside an array. Means a equals to new is going to provide memory of this much size to an array a. In this way, we can have any number of values in any number of objects. Now we are having two objects. Number one is ob1 and number two is ob2. We are having two objects right now, and in one we are having size, that is 10, and we are having an array of 10 size. In the second, we are having size which can store any value which is provided by the user in n. Suppose n is having 3, then we are having 3 here, and the array we are having. In this way, we are having two sort of arrays with the different values. Now I'm moving, see, by indicating you what all these things are, global variables, then these are the calling of constructors. Now moving further with the copy constructor. Now see, first point is parameterized constructor. Copy constructor is always created in the way of parameterized form. Means we should have a parameter inside a constructor first of all. Then see, in this way, first of all, you have to think whether a parameter is containing a class name or not. If it is having a class name, we are sending an object to that constructor. If we are having class name inside a parameter, see, in front of you all, you are having syntax. Class name, function bracket, open, close. Inside this function bracket, I am writing class name, object name. You have to keep in mind few things, that is, when you are having a parameter and inside that parameter you are having a class name and something with that, it means that something is object and you are having a class with that object. In this way, you have to proceed further. How we are going to proceed further, I am going to tell you later. Now see, purpose of copy constructor is to create a copy of an object. We are just supposed to copy values of one object and we are going to store that value inside another object. Then we have a copy of that object. Now see, with this we can provide, I told you, we can provide a global variable values of one object into another object. And how we are going to do that? See, in this way. If we are having a class constructor, global variables we are having int, age, string name, two variables. And these are the global variables. And next one is a parameterized constructor in front of you all. Constructor int a, string n. It is going to receive two values from the user, that is a and n, and we are going to store that values to age and n. Then we have another constructor. This constructor is copy constructor. See, inside that function bracket we are having constructor p. Constructor p means a p, constructor is the class name, p is object name, p is having few things inside p. P is object. P is going to receive object inside it. We are coming in this part later on. Then we have a function that is display. Then we have public static void main. Inside that public static void main, we are having two objects, ob1 and ob2. See, in ob1, I am going to provide value that is 15 and Anurag. 15 is going to be placed inside A and Anurag is going to be placed inside N. Means object ob1 is going to receive two values. One is 15 inside a variable that is age, and Anurag is going to be received by a variable that is name. But when I am creating this part, means constructor ob2, ob2 again having memory for age and again having memory for name. But I am going to provide ob1 inside p. Then what happened? This object is ob2, but I am providing value of ob1 to p. It means whatever address of OB1 is having, the same address is shared by P also. Means now P is also going to be shared the same memory location what OB1 is having. Means the value of OB1, that is age is 15 and name is Anurag, is going to be shared by P also. And OB2 is now current object. Now P is going to touch that value, that is 15. How? P dot age. P dot age means P is going to pick value 15 and going to store that value into age. Age is variable of current object, and current object is OB2. Means box is going to receive 15. And see, P dot name is going to receive a value that is Anurag, and it is going to store inside name. Means again Anurag is going to be stored inside name. It means we are having a same copy of OB1 into OB2. If we are using constructor for copying one object into another object, then it is copy constructor. We can just provide values of one object into another object. We can have one copy of object into another object also without using constructor. If I want to create another object, means see, if I am writing constructor OB3 and I want to store the address of OB1 into OB3, then I am having a copy of OB1 into OB3 also. This is also a way to copy one object into another object. Both are sharing same address. I'm not having another address for OB3. Both the address was same. OB1 and OB3 was same. Both are sharing the same address, same values. It is also a way to create copy of an object, but when you are using constructor for copying things, then it is copy constructor. Now moving further, and I want to tell you this is in front of you all. When we are displaying OB1.display and OB2.display, the output we are having Anurag, name Anurag and age 15, name Anurag and age 15, because both are having the same values. That's why we are getting this as output. Now see, constructor overloading. One of our topic is constructor overloading. Now in this you have to remember few things. See, when we have more than one constructor of different parameters within a class, then it is said to be a copy constructor. Means now in this I am having example. One is default constructor, one is parameterized and another one is also parameterized. But see, the difference is the parameters. See, all parameters were different. That's why in a class we are having three constructor with different parameters. Means it is overloading of constructor. Now see, in this we are having constructor number 1 which store age 12, name 60. I am going to call this OB constructor OB1 calling default constructor. Means OB1 is going to store age, that is 12, and name, that is 60. Then we are having another constructor OB2 is going to store age 15 and name Anurag, because it is, first of all, what you have to think, because the parameter is empty, that's why it is going to call this, and parameter should be matched. See, two things. First of all, these two things were matched with this, not matched, then it is going to match with this. It is matched, means the values that is 15 is going to stored by A, and the value that is Anurag is stored by N. Means OB2 is going to stored 15 and Anurag. Then what about OB3? OB3 is having OB1 as passing object. When we are passing OB1 as object and P is going to receive that value, we are going to copy these values to a current object. Current object is OB3 right now. Means OB3 is going to share the same value what OB1 is having. And now see, few things is in front of you all. That is, first object is having age that is 12 and name that is Shishti. Then OB2 is having age that is 15 and name that is Anurag. OB3 is a copy of OB1. That's why OB3 is having age that is 12, name is Shishti. We are having three constructors with the different parameters in a class. That's why it is constructor overloading. Now, nested constructor. Nested constructor means when we are calling one constructor from another constructor, it is nested constructor. For example, if I am having a constructor, parameterized constructor that is temp, containing int x, int y, and I want to call from this constructor, I want to call one constructor which is having one parameter, that is int x, the second parameter I want to call. I have to use this. This or is a keyword which is used to point current calling object. We can use this for calling the constructor also. When you are placing function bracket with this, it is going to call constructor. Now see, when we are using this file, it is going to check a constructor with a single parameter containing integer. We are having a single parameter with integer, then it is going to be called. And from here, we are calling this function bracket open close, which is empty. Means we are having this. These are the default constructor. This one is default constructor, this one is parameterized, and this one is parameterized. The top one is parameterized. These are the parameterized constructors, and here we are having default constructor, means non-parameterized constructor. You have to remember one thing, that is when you are using or when we are calling a nested constructor, by this it should be a first line inside a constructor. You have to write this as your first line. The see, in this way I'm writing this in first line only. You have to keep small thing in your mind. I think it is sufficient for you all. You are able to understand what I want to say as nested constructor. And now the difference between the constructor and method. Constructor name is same as class name, and method name should be different. Constructor is automatically called, means it is implicitly called when object is created. Example, the class object equals new class name. I told you earlier also, when we are creating object of a class, it is going to be called implicitly. But we have to call a method. Number 2, see the point number 2 of method. We have to call a method by using object name or class name. Means we have to call it, that's why it is explicitly called. See the third point of constructor. It is used to initialize a global variable. Means we are defining a state of a variable. The characteristics of a variable we are defining from here. By using a constructor, we are defining characteristics. And by using a method, we are defining a behavior of object. Means we are providing a particular task or a few instructions to a method. See the fourth point. Constructor must not have a written type. We can write written type, nothing happened, but we are not supposed to use it. It is just useless things because it is not needed. And see the fourth point. In method, you have to write written type, either the data type or void, but constructor doesn't need any data type or void anything else. Constructor doesn't need it. The fifth point, Java compiler provide a default constructor. If you didn't create any constructor, then it is provided by Java compiler. But Java compiler never provide any method. In any of the cases, it never provide any method. See the sixth point, constructor never being inherited by derived class. Means if you want to call a constructor from a derived class, you are not supposed to call it. It is automatically called by the object. When object is created, it is automatically called. You are not supposed to call it. But when we are talking about methods, we can inherit it and we can call it from the derived class. It is more than sufficient for you all. If you have any doubt, then do consult with me. Otherwise, goodbye.